Good day, children. Today I am here to continue the second video of the second chapter, Federalism from Politics. Now, the previous video, we did learn about what is federalism, what are the different features, and is India a federal country? All these things we discussed in the first part. Now, how is federalism practiced? How is federalism practiced? Now, under how is federalism practiced, we got to know the real success of federalism in India can be attributed to the nature of democratic politics in our country. And this ensures that the spirit of federalism and respect for diversity and desire for living together became a shared ideal in our country. Now, for us to know how is federalism practiced, we'll go through some of the points. The first one is the linguistic points. The linguistic. Now, under the linguistic state, we understand the creation of linguistic state was the first and a major test for democratic politics in our country. That is, in 1947, the boundaries of several old states of India were changed to create new states. Even now, there are a lot of changes happening in the boundaries of India. So, even at this particular time of the period, we understand that there are changes made in the boundaries. And this was done to ensure that people who spoke the same language lived in the same state. And also, some states have created on the basis of culture, ethnicity, or geography. And the next point is the language policy. The language policy. Under the language policy, we understand our constitution did not give status of national language to any one language. Hindi was identified as the official language. And besides Hindi, there are 21 other languages recognized as scheduled languages by the constitution. Then we all know states too have their own official languages, like for Kerala we have Malayalam, for Tamil Nadu we have Tamil. So these were the official languages of different states. And according to the constitution, the use of English for official purpose was stopped by 1965. But later it was decided to continue English along with Hindi for the official purposes. Then the third one is the center-state relation. Restructuring the center-state relation is one more way in which federalism has been strengthened in practice. For a long time, the same party ruled both at the center and in most of the states. That is, at the center, if the Congress was ruling, the same thing, even almost all the states, this Congress was ruling. So, in those days, what happened was the central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss the state governments that were controlled by the rival parties. This undermined the spirit of federalism. This all changed significantly after 1990 because this period saw regional political parties, many in different states, many regional parties were won. So naturally, this was the beginning of the coalition government. we are going in detail with decentralization India. Decentralization in India. What is decentralization in India? When power is taken away from central and state governments and given to the local government. That is what we said. The power is being taken from the center and the state and given it to the local. So, the center gives the power to the local and the state is also giving some power to the local government. What is the basic idea behind this decentralization? Is that there are large number of problems and issues that is existing in different states at the local level, and this can only be best settled at the local level. It is the localites, these localites only know what their issues and problems are. So, this could only be solved at the local level. And at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in decision making. Directly participate in decision making. It is the localites, they know their issues and problems, they have their representatives, and it is these people they are voting, and they become the part and parcel in decision making. And also this helps to inculcate a habit of democratic participation. So, they are directly participating in the decision making. And the next is the major steps towards decentralization. That is, in 1992, under the 73rd Amendment Act gave constitutional status to Panchayati Raj system. Because earlier in India we followed only two-tier system, the central and the state. Then later by 1992 we started to have the third tier system. We took one more step ahead, that is the local government was formed. That is, the status of Panchayati Raj institutions was given the year 1992. And some of the salient features of the act is it is constitutionally mandatory to hold a regular election. Regular election. Some of the salient features. One is regular elections. Regular elections. Then that is, it has become mandatory to hold regular elections in the local government bodies. Then seats are reserved. Seats are reserved. Seats are reserved for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes. So, seats were reserved for the scheduled castes, scheduled tribes, and also other backward classes, OBC. Then at least 1/3 of the seats are reserved for women. Seats were reserved for women also. Seats were reserved for women. That is, 1/3 of the seats were reserved for women. Then an independent institution called State Election Commission. An independent institution called the State Election Commission has been created in each state to conduct panchayat and municipal elections. Then the state government are required to share some powers and revenue with local government bodies. The state government is supposed to share some powers and revenue to the local bodies. All these are the salient features of decentralization. Now, we know when we talk about the local body, we have local body both in the urban area as well as in the rural areas. Okay. Now, we are going in detail about the working of rural local government. As I told you, local bodies we have both at the rural area as well as in the urban area. Now, under the rural local government, popularly the rural local government, we call it as the Panchayati Raj. And each village or a group of village in some states has a Gram Panchayat, a council consisting of several ward members, often they are called Panch, and a president, or we call it as a Sarpanch. President is also known as Sarpanch. Then they are directly elected by all the adult population living in that ward or the village. And the Panchayat works under the supervision of the Gram Sabha. And all the voters in the village, they are its members. All the people who vote, they are the members of the Panchayat. And it has to meet at least twice or thrice in a year to approve the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat. Now, under the three-tier system of decentralization, three-tier system of decentralization, we will put it this way. At the top, at the apex, we have the Zilla Parishad. That is, under the three-tier system of centralization, Zilla Parishad is at the apex body, that is of the district level. At the top, we have the Zilla Parishad. Next, we have the Panchayat Samitis. Panchayat Samiti. The second, that is just down below the Zilla Parishad, we have the Panchayat Samitis. Then we have the Gram Panchayat. Third one, we have the Gram Panchayat. This is a three-tier system of decentralization at the district level. I repeat, Zilla Parishad at the top or at the apex, then we have the Panchayat Samitis, then we have the Gram Panchayat. Now, the next is working of urban local government. Urban local government. When we talk about the local government bodies in the urban areas, it is of two types. One is, number one, this is urban local body. Under the urban local government, we have two different types. One is municipal corporation, municipal corporation, then we have municipal councils. Now, municipal corporation is the larger urban area. larger, and the other one is the smaller urban area. Smaller urban area. So I repeat, under the urban local government bodies, it is of two types: municipal corporation, which is a larger urban area; municipal councils, the smaller urban areas. Here, both municipalities and municipal corporations is controlled by elected bodies of people representatives. I repeat, both the municipalities and municipal corporations are controlled by the elected bodies of people's representatives. Then we have mayor, or the municipal chairperson is the head of the municipality. This is the end of the second video. Some of the important questions of this second video is: number 1, how many languages are spoken in India? What is decentralization? How are local bodies organized in cities? And how is federalism practiced in India? Before I conclude, I would like to recapitulate the second part through a PPT. As I said, how is federalism practiced, under which it speaks about the linguistic states. Now, under the linguistic state, it says that the creation of linguistic state was the first and the major test for democratic politics in our country. And in 1947, the boundaries of several states of India were changed. And I also told you around 2006 too, there were new changes made. Recently also, we had a lot of changes. Now, this particular thing was done to ensure that people who spoke the same language lived in the same state. And also, some states were created on the basis of culture, ethnicity and geography. Now, under the language policy, we understand that our constitution did not give any status of national language to any one language. Instead, Hindi was identified as the official language because most of the people speak Hindi. And then besides Hindi, there were around 21 other languages which was recognized as the scheduled language. And states too have their own official language, as I said about Malayalam in Kerala, Tamil in Tamil Nadu. Likewise, there are many other states having their own official languages. And by 1965, use of English was stopped, but later it was decided to continue English along with Hindi as the official language. Now, the center-state relation. Under the center-state relation, that is restructuring of the center-state, is one more way in which federalism has been strengthened in practice. For long, that is both at the center as well as in the state, the same party rule. And naturally, this situation was taken advantage, that is the central government took advantage of this particular situation. And naturally, this undermined the spirit of federalism. But all these things changed after 1990, because during this period we saw there are a lot of regional political parties coming up. Many political parties, regional political parties got seats in the states. So all this was the beginning of the coalition government. Then we are going in detail with decentralization in India. As I said, what is decentralization? Taking the power from the center and the state and giving it to the local government. It's called decentralization. And naturally, what is the basic idea behind decentralization? That large number of problems and issues are there which can only be best settled at the local level, because the localites, they know what is their problems and issues. and it is the localites who can solve the problems. The center will not know what the problems of the local people are. So, only when there is decentralization, only then this can happen. So, the best way of settling the issues is through this process. Then at the local level, it is possible for the people to directly participate in decision making, and also it helps to inculcate a habit of democratic participation. Then we have some major steps towards decentralization. That is, I did say the local government came into existence only after 1992. Till then we had only two-tier system. Then the salient features of this act is, it is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular elections. Seats were reserved for scheduled castes, scheduled tribes and other backward classes, OBC. Then even 1/3 seats were reserved for women. An independent institution called State Election Commission has been created in each state to conduct panchayat and municipal elections. And last, the state governments are required to share some powers and revenue with local government bodies. That is, they had to share the power and also they had to give some money to the local government so that the local government can play its own part well. Then we have, as I said, when you talk about the local government, we have both in the urban as well as in the rural area. The first one is the rural local government. The rural local government, which is known as Panchayati Raj, and each village or a group of village is in some states as Gram Panchayat, then a council consisting of several ward members, often called Panch, and the president, or it is called the Sarpanch. They are directly elected by all the adult population, and the Panchayat works under the supervision of the Gram Sabha, and the voters in the village are the members of that particular village. And naturally it will meet at least twice or thrice in a year to approve the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat. Now in this, under the three-tier system of decentralization, Zilla Parishad is at the apex, then we have the Panchayat Samitis just down below, then we have the Gram Panchayat. Then we have the local government body in the urban area. Now under the urban area, we have municipal corporation at the larger urban area, municipal council in the smaller urban areas. And both the municipalities and municipal corporations are controlled by the elected bodies of the people's representatives. And we have mayor or the municipal chairperson is the head of the municipality. We have the present one, Saumini Jain, is the mayor of the municipal corporation. The question hour session. Make sure to read the chapter thoroughly. These are certain questions of this video. Try to find out the answers. How many languages are spoken in India? Second one is, what is decentralization? Third one is, how are local bodies organized in cities? Then, how is federalism practiced in India? Then we have, in this particular slide, I have given you some assignment questions as well as notebook question. Under the assignment we have, explain the features of federalism and how is federalism practiced in India. As I told you, make sure to write the assignments in the A4 size sheets, neatly bordered with proper headings. Then we have some notebook questions. The first one is, what is the meaning of federalism? Second one is, what is meant by unitary type of government? And what is union list? What is included in it? What is the state list? What is included in it? what is concurrent list and what is included in it, and what is decentralization. Seventh one is how many scheduled languages are there in India. Eighth, what are the major steps taken towards decentralization in 1992. These are the important questions related to this part of the video. I hope you have understood clearly. Thank you and have a great day.